What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the WichitaPromo Podcast with your host, EKM. We up here at Kirbys Beer Store today, one of my favorite venues in town. I'm excited to be here. And I got another special guest with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Hamza, and I go by HZ on stage and with the camera, all that shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man, for sure. So we on a little handheld mic today, technical difficulties, but it's cool, man. We're gonna have a good conversation. To get straight into it, man, so you fresh off of a pretty new release, your album Hang the Thieves. What was the inspiration behind that album? What made you put that together?
So Hang the Thieves came from kind of playing with the idea of Immortal Bandits. It ended up being a solo record. But yeah, that's where like Hang the Thieves comes from, is like this idea of immortal bandits. They're like timeless thieves, and this is like the moment where you would like hang them and like figure them out, and kind of like revealing all this stuff about myself through this album. And that would be like the hanging part of it. Like you're catching all this stuff and bringing it to the stage where you like end it,
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. How did you craft the album? Like, did the songs all come together? Basically, did you make a bunch of songs and then end up just crafting an album, or did you purposely make this album, like making the songs for it? How did everything kind of come together?
Yeah, it started with the title of the album, and then from there, it was last year when I was working on it, in collaboration with Tony Obertain, and at the time, I had like the title, and then I started listing off like song names that could be like developed with different themes and stuff, tying it together. So yeah, I had like 15 different titles for songs, and then it kind of shortened down to about, I think it's 10 or 11. And yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. Kind of constructed each song around a theme, around the title. Yeah, kind of like top down working instead of like bottom up.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. What's your process like in recording and writing these songs? Because one thing that I noticed that I really enjoyed about the album when I was listening to it is it's a weird compliment, but rappers will kind of understand it. You transition between flows really nicely. Like one thing I kept thinking about is just like every time the flow would switch up, I was like, damn, that was smooth. Like everything there's never like a rough cut or anything. Everything just felt perfect. Yeah.
I really appreciate that. That's what I've been trying to do for years, is just keep the rhyme going, even if the idea switches in the rhyme, and that'll switch up the flow of it. It's not necessarily something I do on purpose. I just try and keep the writing tight, the rhyme tight, make it make sense, But I really appreciate that, because I've only heard that from like one other person, so it's really cool you noticed that. Yeah. As far as writing like the album, I kind of had the concept already, but it came really easily, to be honest. It was a lot of stuff from like my life that I was trying to like put into these songs, and like like call it quits on a lot of things that I've been dealing with in life. And it felt really easy to get that out on certain songs, like I was saying, with the themes of each song. And yeah, I mean, my process is like, if the beat's good, like not even if the beat's good, like if it's just something I dig, then I'll just begin writing. And depending on like what the theme is, like if I'm working with somebody and they want the theme to be a certain way, then I'll write around that. But it's a process, like how do you do it? How do you go about it?
Man, so I've never crafted an album before. I'm making one right now for the first time ever. So that's kind of still foreign to me. But in terms of like writing singles, I cannot freestyle. That is not my thing.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what it is. I watch people do the punch-in thing. I respect it, and I don't know. I'm just not confident in it. Like what's gonna come out fast like that is not gonna be my best work. But it sounds stupid, man. But it's weird. I'll get sent a lot of beats, and if I vibe with the beat, I'll really just kind of like do my version of freestyling, which is very shitty. It's like mumbling over it. Like I'll hear the beat. Yeah, I'll just kind of like mumble and like have the end rhymes and shit like that. And then I'll write down just like the words that stick out in my head in my notes on my phone. And then I just kind of fill in the like spaces like a puzzle.
Yeah, I've done that where it's like I'll be like writing it. I won't really be freestyling, but like the end of the rhyme, I'll make it rhyme just so it rhymes, and then like I'll go back to the rest of the line and like switch it around and perfect it in that way. So it kind of, I feel like a lot of things come from like seeing the end, and then like working back from there, or like, yeah, if that makes sense. I feel like it goes for that in a lot of like what I do. I try and see the end first, which can be difficult, and it makes shit take way more time than you feel like it needs to. But after doing like that much work into putting that much work into something, you would hope that all that you've done will make sense to the person listening.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. What was the production on your album? First of all, who produced the beats on it? Was it a bunch of people? Did you do any of it yourself? If not, what was the beat selection process like? Like, tell me all about the production on it.
Yeah, so Hang the Thieves is produced in majority by Tony Obertain. I believe 11 songs. There's 8 produced by him, 2 by my friend Daniel, who goes by Oz. He's really dope. And then 1 by Logan.jpg. And like when me and Tony had worked in the past, it would be like a project or something would be inspired by like a 3-pack that he would produce, and then that would like turn into like kind of the core of the album, and then it would like spread from there. But yeah, I gave him like song names, like I was saying, and then he just kind of like crafted a beat around that song title. And I've known bro for 15 years, maybe like 12, 13 years. So, and we had been making music since 2020. So we kind of like learned each other's styles in that way. And yeah, he really nailed it with every beat on there. And some of them didn't even get used, but yeah, his production's really good. Yeah, my friend Daniel produced 2 on there. They are Creepin' and Are to Be Lifted by my friend Daniel. And yeah, my homie's just really good at picking sounds, and he just throws me beats, and like I'm like, yes, this is the one that needs to be on the album. It sounds like very fits with the theme. Like on the song Are to Be Lifted, there's like this sample at the beginning of like opera-esque singing, and I thought that just fit with like the title, like Are to Be Lifted, like you're being lifted on a stage, like being hung, like you to be lifted, like enlightened kind of vibe. So yeah, that beat was really good. And then Logan produced Chainmail Freestyle, which is just a wild ride. Like I wanted that song to be wild as fuck, so I asked Logan, like, we need to make something pretty crazy. And honestly, Chainmail started with it started as just lyrics and like a melody I had in my head, and we kind of built it from the ground up that way. So the beat was like the last part of that song, I'd say.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever like focused on the lyric first and then had a beat. That's sick.
I feel like a few of those came about that way. Like the song Turn Me to Ashes, there's like all of that was written, I believe, to another beat, and then we made a beat. Like we were like picking sounds, and then we picked these 2, and then it just kind of fit on there, and like the certain like cadences and stuff. I don't know. It's hard to explain like looking back, because a majority of that album was done like January, and it didn't come out till like April, but there's different processes with each song. Some it'll be the lyrics from the ground up. Sometimes it'll be the beat for a few months, the beat just sitting there, and then I get to it. But it was very tedious work, but I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot, and at this point, I think it's my best work and best work from like producers and people I worked with helping engineer it.
Hell yeah, for sure. Man, first off, was there any songs that didn't make the cut and didn't end up on the album that are like still vaulted? And second, like how did you choose on the features that you have on the album? Because you've got some featured artists that give verses as well.
Um, yeah, there's I'll answer that second question first. We have Via on River Flows, and I just love her voice so much. Her voice sounds great on that. It sounds very like glimmery and glitzy, and I wanted to add that to the river flows of this like shining chrome river that's like sparkling in your eyes. And I feel like she added a great element to that. And then I had Logan on Jump Off the Bridge. And I remember just sending that in the Discord, and we were like, who wants to jump on this? And Logan just hopped on it immediately, like as he usually does. Logan's got bars for days when it comes to songs, and that verse was really good. That whole song is just like about escapism, and I feel like Logan tapped into that perfectly. Um, and I think the last feature would be Bog Shoddy, Kylie on Plague, and I remember just wanting Kylie since we made that beat, and thinking like Kylie needs to be on this, and she tore it up. Like I was waiting for a while for her to like come in and like make it happen. It had been like back and forth trying to get it done, but we finally did it, and I was like, I'm still shocked every time I hear it. I love Kylie's vocals and how hard she goes on stage.
Hell yeah.
And not to mention, Tony Obertain is on a majority of the songs as well. And Tony is always snapping. Tony's got bars. Everybody should know that if they don't by now.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Who made the cover art on there? Because the cover art is sick too.
The cover art was made by my great partner Liz. She does really amazing. She does art and she doesn't really talk about it that much, but she's a wonderful artist, and she cranked out that cover, the tarot inspired cover, in like a week from the first drawing to the final thing, and I love it so much. I have it framed up in my place, and yeah, I think I was really wanted to move away from doing like AI cover art because I was really considering that, but like yeah, fuck AI.
Yeah.
It's fuck AI. I don't like seeing it anymore, and I'm really glad that I had her there to be able to do it, and she was gracious enough to put in so much hard work to make that happen. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one of the more like unique and cool cover arts I've seen in a long time. It really stands out. Dope.
I will say that if you listen to the album a few times, you'll see like the Easter eggs that are in the cover, as far as like there's like the all-seeing eye, there's like tarot references in the card throughout the whole album as well, different spiritual concepts, concept of like thieves and knights and swords and rivers, forests, castles, and the almighty 88 in Roman numerals. 88 is a big it's a number that has a lot of meaning with the different themes on the album.
Yeah, for sure. Man, so how did you even get into music in the first place? I know you said so you and Tony have known each other for years at this point. And I know you said that you guys both started making music around 2020. Was that together? Did it like how did all of this even start?
Yeah, it was like 2017 or 18. We were thinking about making like a band, but we didn't really know like how to go about it. And I don't play any instruments. I was just gonna play that. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a little drum that you sit on, and it's like. And Anthony is really talented. He plays guitar and bass and keyboard, and then he got FL Studio in like 2019, I believe, and just started cranking out beats, learning that. And I still continued like writing, but when I started writing, it was really just like poetry, and then like I was like rhyming words in the poetry, and I'm like, well, this could end up on a song. And so it wasn't until 2020 when we dropped our first song as Immortal Bandits. And then from there, we just kept working on stuff. At the beginning, it was really shoddy and bad, and the mixes were weird, and we just progressed from there. And yeah, I'd say about 5 years now I've been doing music, and yeah, Anthony still does beats and still producing, and I've like moved into producing a little bit, but I'd like my mixes to get a lot better before I'm like, hey, you want to use this beat? You want to try something on this? So I'm just sticking to writing right now and trying to really perfect that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, for sure. What's your relationship with Tony like? Obviously, you've been friends forever and everything, but what's that relationship like, and how important is the like musical chemistry that you guys have?
Me and Tony, it was really easy to make music for a long time just because we'd known each other, and we had similar tastes in like what kind of sound we wanted to bring out of the music. And we also like different artists. Like I knew a lot of rap artists, he knew a lot of, or knows a lot of like different rock bands and metal bands and like pop and like he put me on to gorillas, and I had never heard of gorillas before until a few years ago, honestly. And so I feel like what we like wanted to hear from music was different, but it helped like through our friendship to craft music in that way.
Yeah.
And it felt really natural for a long time. um yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope, man. I think that's like one of the most important things as like an upcoming new artist is just having other creative minds that you can vibe with and kind of bounce ideas off of each other, you know? That it helps so much. Like we were just saying off of camera, one thing that I think helps me a lot is when I record with certain people and when I come out of the booth, they're willing to say like, "Hey man, I think you should run it back and do it like this." Like sometimes having another creative mind there to just kind of guide you is really helpful. It opens a lot of like new ideas that you wouldn't have come up with on your own too.
Most definitely. I've always had a hard time like I appreciate criticism and stuff and like people trying to make it better and like tell me what could be better. I'm also like super hard on myself, so
Yeah.
I feel like I won't even like bring something forward to people until I feel like it's like 95% there. But I always appreciate if somebody tells me like this needs to be done better, like um hey, you need to hit this stronger, maybe you should be softer at this part, or like if I'm trying to sing, like I feel like I gravitate towards rapping much easier. And when it comes to singing, I'm a little bit more like I don't know, because like I see so many other talented people who sing. Like I work with Logan.jpg a lot, and Logan's an incredible singer, and we'll be sitting there making music, and he's like, oh, you should try and hit it like this, and he'll like do the note, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even like think of that. I'm only thinking of it like one way in my head. So it's nice just to have other people who know more than you in the space. And um I love that. Like I used to really be like, oh, I know better, I'm gonna do it my way, and that just doesn't get you very far. It's good to just give up and be like, all right, how can I get help? Like, and really it's just layering your melodies. Don't just have one melody. That's what I've learned. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned half of it really just comes down to the technique you record and like mix everything in. But
Yeah.
yeah, having that like a partner in creativity is so helpful, man. Like I was saying before, shout out to Max James. I've been working with him a lot, and every time I do, like he's the type of dude, he's so goofy on the mic. Like he's just having so much fun that like he makes you do the same thing. And I'm sitting here doing flows and voices that I would have felt weird doing a year ago. You know what I mean? So it's cool to like evolve like that for sure. How do you think your music has evolved since you first started dropping stuff?
I would say I've gotten more honest with what I write about, even if like through like the vehicle of Immortal Bandits, it's been like very deep lyrics, and like it's kind of like a vehicle for talking about suffering in life and like different shit you go through, but how you persevere through it. And I feel like we were talking about off camera, or no, you just mentioned like the flows. Like my flow has gotten better over the years. Like I used to rhyme on the downbeat like all the time, and I was really hard on myself about that because I didn't understand what flow was until I figured it out, and I was like, "Oh, I've been doing it the same this whole time." So that's definitely one area is my writing has gotten better, and just different choice in words and vocabulary. Um, but yeah, I feel like it could improve quite a bit. Um, in terms, I don't know if there's like one thing I can necessarily nail down. Um, it would be if I was making like multiple songs, it would be just trying to not let ideas spill out into other songs. Because I feel like I kind of will reuse words at certain times in the past where I'm like, you need to like work harder, take extra 10 minutes to really look up like what synonym could go with that, an antonym, like just something to make the listener think harder, like pay attention a little bit more, because that's what I do when I listen to albums is I go through and look at the lyrics, and I'll just be reading lyrics like, oh, he came back in with that rhyme here and he dropped it out for this long. Yeah, I love that about music, and that's what I'd like to perfect, just my writing, getting better at that vocabulary, different flow, voices. There was a on Jump Off the Bridge, I did a kind of like an accent um just to like mix it up, because I feel like I'm always rapping like really aggressive into the mic or like jump off the bridge, do all the drugs and get high as a bitch. Like, and I just wanted to change it up. I wanted to change it up where I was like, oh goodness, I can't even remember about what I was saying. I was like, switch my play like cruising them, choosy men with empty hands. Just adding a different like accent, just something where people are like, ooh, that sticks out a little bit, and they might remember that. That's the shit I remember in songs is when somebody just tweaks their voice in a certain way and changes it up, makes it sound cool. What's cool to them? Always stay cool to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking when I heard that Jump Off the Bridge song, what a song, like how fun that would be to perform. That seems like such a crazy vibe live.
Hey, come out tomorrow night, Tuesday night, August 5th. I might do it.
Hell yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's dope too. And I can tell that you're very passionate about your music by the fact that you're able to say, like, I want to improve on this and I have improved on this. Because I feel like one of the things that kind of holds a lot of hip hop artists back, which it also helps them in some way, I understand. Rap is so like braggadocious, it's so like it's so tough guy and I'm better than everybody. A lot of people can't understand their shortcomings or can't face their like little issues like that. Like I think about shit like that with my own music. I think about little things that one of the things, for example, lately is I set off the camera. I've been trying to experiment. I'm kind of tired of my own damn sound right now. I've been kind of doing some different shit lately where I'm like, man, I need some new creative minds around me. I need to go work with new producers and new artists and kind of push myself to just get into different lanes that I wouldn't have before. But I feel like a lot of people are kind of scared to admit things about themselves like that and think about like, damn, I kind of need to switch up this or that. So just the fact that you're saying that shows me like you're passionate about it and you really want to like do this. So I'm always glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think if you stay rigid in your craft, you're going to be rigid, and you may not think it's like rigid, but what feels comfortable to you will keep you in comfort. And there's a comfort, or there's sorry, I'll let them pass. When you just step outside of like what you feel comfortable in, even if it doesn't feel like growth in the moment, you can say like, I tried that and it may not be good on this, but like it will be good on something in the future. And it just helps you like think outside the box even before you open your mouth and say something. Like I think if I'm like rapping about something, it's because I've thought of like a weird way to tie stuff in together on the beat whenever I'm writing. Like with Hang the Thieves, it was very like I said, really themed around medieval thieves and knights and that sort of thing. So there aren't really a lot of references to anything like in common day or like right now. I just try and tie stuff into my own life and work it around the themes that are there. But yeah, it's good to look at what you do best, look at what you need to improve on, and just be honest with yourself, because you will grow. 100%. Even just being honest with yourself, that is growth.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, man, I 1,000%, man. I've been saying to everybody lately, I feel like for the first time in my life, I've been releasing music almost 3 years now. I feel like for the past 2, 3 months, I just learned how to rap. Like I be telling people straight up, I feel like I used to be able to write, but all of my old music I listen to, I'm not. I still like some of the songs. I wouldn't have them out if I hated them. But I listen back to my old music and I'm like, damn, I didn't know how to rap yet. I knew how to put together bars, but like I had no confidence on the mic. Shit just didn't feel near as smooth as it does now. It didn't feel as me, honestly. Like it, I just now kind of learned how to like actually deliver and put together a song recently. Like none of them have even really come out yet. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, we got something to look forward to. New EKM.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's see, like I first started and I was trying to replicate like other artists I'd heard, like everybody else does. Like I was really into Joey Badass when I started. I was also really into like artists that aren't in hip hop, like Tame Impala. I was really into them. I know they're super popular. I know, don't kill me. Tame Impala. I was into Tame Impala. Let's see, like it was around 2019, 2020. So I don't know who's like XXX Tentacion was popping around then, even though he passed away. Juice World, like Lil Peep, all these like what would be called SoundCloud rappers. Like I gravitated towards them a lot, and I feel like that kind of pressed the content I wrote about, because it was kind of like dark themed content, but it allowed me to explore parts of myself that I didn't really open up to people about, but I feel like I could on the mic, and kind of heal myself in that way.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Man, what were some of the like I get we talked a little bit about your musical inspirations there, but what was the stuff that was playing around you when you were a kid? Like what was your family playing when you were growing up?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Dude, I grew up in church. Like I grew up listening to gospel music and like church anthems. I remember my first like hip hop experience as a kid was at my church. Like it was this Christian rap group who showed up, and it was just super cool to see them rapping about God, but at the same time I was like, I want to listen to Eminem with my uncle, you know. But it was a lot of gospel music in church, and then my mom would play like K-Love. If y'all know what K-Love is, 99.1, it's just more Christian, like divorced single mom Christian rock music. That was with my mom. When I was with my dad, it would be like Arab music, you know, Moroccan music, or sometimes he'd play like older rap songs that he listened to when he first got in the States. But it really came around when I was like in middle school, high school, and people started showing me a lot more hip hop and pop music. And it was like, wait, how old are you?
26.
You're 20. Okay, so we're like the same age. Like we were listening to like Lil Wayne and like Eminem back in like 2010, 2012, Kanye. Man, I'd say those are like the founding people that I was listening to when I was younger. Yeah, those three stick out a lot. Kanye, Eminem, Lil Wayne. I will say Lil Wayne is my GOAT. But yeah, it was a mix of everything. There was a lot of like religious bits in the music that I was listening to growing up, and there was like more secular stuff. It was a mix of everything. I really had to fight my way through.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Man, I kind of feel that. My first album growing up was I remember my mom took me to Best Buy when I must have been like 7, 8 years old, and she bought me The Block Is Hot and The Carter 3 by Lil Wayne. Man, I was sold, bro. I fell so in love with Wayne just as a little kid. And then as I got older, that went into like, obviously, I'm a white kid. The Eminem phase happened. And then, you know, that turned into like, I got into rock music. I was like 10 years old, skateboarding, listening to like Green Day. And I got into like Bring Me the Horizon and bands like that. And then it just fucking spiraled into everything. But Wayne was definitely like the first inspiration of music for me. When I was like, I think I said this with Alexandra. Shout out to Alexandra with the 316 project. She asked me in an interview we did together. I don't know if that one ended up coming out, but she asked me what the first music that ever inspired me was, and I was like, man, it's embarrassing to say, but to think about it as a kid, I remember being like 4 or 5 years old and going crazy to that self-titled Chris Brown project, and then I heard Lil Wayne and I was sold.
Yeah, I had my Chris Brown time too. I think the only song I have saved by Chris Brown is Baseline. Off of it was like the one where he's in like a purple suit and he's like looking this way. That's the cover. I was super into electronic music when I was younger, so that explains that. And like Green Day, Linkin Park, like I I guess I've listened to like so much growing up, but I've gravitated towards hip hop because like I guess where you start out writing, start with like poetry, and then that kind of just asks you to start rapping from there. But I've listened to everything growing up. Didn't really care too much for country music, but I feel like that's a lot of people's thing. But country music's also making a comeback right now. Like, so I'm an advocate for whatever makes people happy. So yeah, there's lots of music everywhere. I feel like I've been inspired by a lot. Um, so much so by rap, but I definitely would love to make something in a lane of like heavy metal or rock or learn an instrument myself. I've grabbed an instrument and I'm trying to learn it. Maybe y'all see me with it in the future. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's dope, man. I would love to venture off into other genres myself. I'm just not there yet, skill wise. Yeah.
What you got already.
Yeah, for sure. I think when I first started rapping, it came from I was writing raps way back in like high school, but it was like you said, more like a poetry thing. I would just write lyrics and shit, and it was a rap in my head. I would be rapping it, but I didn't have a beat. But I was around Keontre. Keontre was the first rapper I ever knew. He was shit when we were 15, 16 years old. He was rapping on stage at South High School at the pep rallies and shit. Like he was really trying to do that, and he was I used to like freestyle with him at parties and shit, and him and like all the other people around would be like, "No, you're really good. You really got this." And my bro Dalton used to really, really push me on writing music. I got him tatted on me because he passed away. But yeah, when he passed away, that was when I was like, "Damn, I might as well do this." Like, you know, he always pushed me towards it, told me I was dope, and everything that I was doing in my life before was with him. So when he was gone, I was like, "The fuck do I do? I guess I do what he told me to, and I rap." But at the time, still to this day, I was really inspired by like Freddie Gibbs, Mavi, Mike, Boldy James, the whole like Griselda camp, that like style of hip hop coming back, and that's really kind of what got me here. What's some of the like modern stuff that you're listening to right now?
Whew, I low key got to pull out my Spotify for that. I'll try and do it off the top of my head though. I will say, yeah, Griselda, um, Joaquin, and Ray Leo have put me on to Arm& Hammer. In the past, let me think more modern. Man, this is tough, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of answers for this. Like, I swear, you could look at my Spotify. It is a jumble of mess. I will say like the Suicide Boys have definitely inspired me. I know a lot of some people say they're overhyped, they're this or that, but they've gone against the industry, and they've been around for like I think 10 years or so now. And I grew up. I didn't grow up, but I'd say like around early 20s I started listening to them quite a bit, and their whole music and their sound. I really fuck with that. I really fuck with G59, Night Lavelle. Let me think. There's so much. There's so much modern rap. It's hard to because what I think about is stuff that I used to listen to in childhood and like teen years. But it's been like a weird blur. Like while I've been making music, I feel like I've stepped back from like consuming so much, so to allow myself space to like create. And man, I'm sorry, I don't have like a clear answer on that. But yeah, I would say like those emo rappers have definitely been a big inspiration on my life. Helped me get through stuff. Helped me write. I used to write to like old instrumentals of theirs. Just look up their song with the instrumental. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no,
I appreciate that question. I'm sorry I don't have something.
Nah, you good. It's actually a solid answer, man, because I get that a lot. I get a lot of artists that say they don't really consume as much hip hop right now while they're making it. And I kind of feel that because I feel like sometimes if I am listening to something too much, like for example, my two favorite artists right now are Mike and Boldy James. I listen to them all the fucking time. And I will catch myself sometimes being in the booth and I'm like, I just straight stole that. That sounds like Boldy James. Why did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I forgot to mention that Pusha T is actually my favorite. And Clips just dropped an album recently. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't listen to Clips' music, their older music, but I've kept up with Pusha T over the years, and I love how he writes, even though it's always about how he's selling cocaine better than you. It is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna be on your level, bro, but I love his lyricism, and I think that's what I appreciate most about artists is just like their wordplay, their craftsmanship in their lyrics, like what they're talking about. Even if you know what they're talking about, they just find new ways to do it. And oh yeah, that reminds me of like I was younger and I would wake up in the morning before school and just look up like lyric videos of different rappers and just try and learn their whole song before I went to school because we used to just be like rapping the songs a cappella to each other at school, but we couldn't like pull up the song, you know. So we just come in like, "Oh, you know the whole verse? Let's hear it. You know the whole verse?" Yeah. Yeah, those are some good memories I have of hip hop. It's just me like 7 in the morning at my dad's house waiting for my mom to pick me up, and I'm just like looking up Lil Wayne songs and like trying to do the fastest verse ever recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's dope, man. I feel everything you're saying. I love Pusha T's music. Pusha T is a big inspiration for me too. I actually like I wasn't releasing music yet, but right after my homie Dalton passed and I started writing and like taking seriously what I was writing, coming up with beats and stuff like that, I was trying to learn how to produce and everything, is when Pusha T dissed Drake. And when he dropped that story of Adidon, I was working overnight at a racetrack gas station in Florida. And I remember being so fucking hyped that shift because I listened to it at the beginning of my shift, and I was like antsy. I was like bugging the whole shift, so inspired. Like I gotta make something. I gotta make something. Pusha T.
Yeah, you never know like how to share those moments with people when you're so tapped into like what artists are doing and like no, I'm sure nobody around you like in that moment was really listening to that and you're locked in on this diss track. Yeah, I can't I remember when X passed away, I was listening to his music like over and over and over again and yeah, nobody felt my pain on that either. Like it wasn't like a diss thing. I was just like, damn, I'm running the whole discography, and then people think I'm a weirdo, like, and they're like, do you know that X did this or he did that? I'm like, no, he's trying to be a better person, bro. Like right before he passed away, he was doing a bunch of stuff, helping like schools out, helping kids out, and yeah, people aren't gonna connect to something the way you do.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. I completely forgot about that whole Pusha T Drake saga.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's a kind.
T definitely has the crown for that.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of crazy all the names you mentioning, man. It's kind of wild how many artists we have in common because you say that and I'm like, man, yeah. I remember going through my Lil Peep phase. I remember my Suicide Boys phase. I saw them live back then and was inspired.
Man, you're lucky.
Like,
I haven't even seen them live.
Yeah. I saw them live in Miami, like literally a week after Peep passed, and it was one of the most like it was a weird show. Like it was great, but like the emotions were so high in the building. This is like peak of way before they got sober when it was like no disrespect to them or anything, but I think, you know, even they used to talk about their problems very, very openly. Bro, the drugs at that show was like concerning. That was the first time I've ever been at a show in my life where I was there with my girl and we're just watching people like drop like flies. Like we're in there just watching people pass out OD, and it was like, holy shit.
What was that, like late 2017?
Yeah, it was like I believe 2017, a show in Miami, so like Party City on top of it. It was like, holy shit. It was eye-opening for sure. But
drugs in the scenes.
yeah, man, but I went through all those phases, man. I listened to Lil Peep back then and he passed away. That hurt. I listened to Suicide Boys. Went through that phase. I went through the Pusha T phase, the drug rap phase. I went through all of that, man. I loved all of that shit. So it's cool to hear you say all that, man. You bringing back memories for me.
Yeah, man, I feel like we've all been fed the same-ish type of music throughout our years, and I mean, we're like very similar age, so it makes sense that we got the same stuff. But yeah, it's interesting where music takes you. It'll take you to some crazy venues where people are doing drugs and shit, and now they're like turning their life around. They're like sober, and now they just dropped an album like talking about being saved by God. So yeah, music will change your whole life around in good ways, bad ways.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they were actually too. Shout out to Scrim and Ruby because they're one of the few ones I've met. I don't know what it is. I have decent luck with like meeting artists. Really? I've met a fucking decent amount of like famous artists, and they were two of the like cooler dudes that I've met. Like just genuine good dudes. Like embraced their fans and were like really respectful. And I've definitely met some before where it was not that way, and I left being like, damn, now I don't like this guy as much. Man, so I'll say it straight up. I saw MGK, and I was never a big MGK fan, but I saw him back when he was a rapper. Back like he was at the Cotillion here in town. I remember meeting MGK and at the end of the show being like, this dude's such a fucking asshole. I won't listen to his music again. Like, I'm good. Like, I remember being at the end of the show and just watching the way he was like talking to his fans. I remember watching him sitting there smoking a cigarette, like blowing it in our faces and just being a dick. And I remember being like, damn, I regret buying this ticket. Wow. Like, but it just makes it even better when like I meet a cool one like Mike. Like Mike is one of my favorite artists. I've met Mike a few times at this point. The first time I met Mike was at a Freddie Gibbs show that he opened up in Oklahoma City. I dapped him up. I told him I fucked with his music, and he was like, hey, bro, you want a chicken sandwich from fucking Chick-fil-A? I was like, this is a cool ass dude. I fucking met him again in Kansas City, and obviously, you know, he's touring. He meets so many people. So I approached him and I was like, hey, man, I met you a while back and I told you this before, but I'm going to tell you again, bro. You one of my biggest inspirations musically. I look up to you a lot. You inspire a lot of my tracks. I'm going to work my ass off until one day you know me. And he dapped me up and he was like, bro, I know one day we will work together. And I was so inspired off that conversation for the next like year. It was crazy, dog. I'm still running off that energy I got from that, man.
I won't lie, I haven't had any interactions like that. I would love to meet Scrim and Ruby. They seem like I love how like underground they've stayed and like it's fuck the industry. They're very humble. Like, and I appreciate that about artists and when they don't sell out necessarily. They had a line where they were talking about keep the Mickey Mouse hat. I'm good on the pop rap or pop shit, you know, like. Yeah, like MGK went very pop. I used rap to go pop, and that is something I keep in the back of my head a lot. Like, don't use hip hop as just a way to. Don't just leave hip hop behind to do something else. I think the last concert I was at. Honestly, the concerts I've been at are like for hated artists, bro. Like I went to like a Russ concert. I went to a Logic concert when I was like 18. And it was like Logic and G-Eazy. Like, is G-Eazy even doing shit? Forgive me, y'all. This was back when I was 18. This was before I was like really learning shit. But that was my taste of rap was those dudes. And I mean, people also hate on Russ. Do you listen to Russ?
I don't have. So I mean, I don't listen to Russ, but I also don't have like a negative opinion towards him or anything. The only thing I know about Russ, I know people hate on him and shit, but his music isn't. I haven't explored his music, so I can't even say it's not my cup of tea. I haven't really listened to it. I need to check it out. But the only thing I know about Russ is that he's super independent and that he gives a lot of game to independent artists, and I fuck with that. I fuck with the fact that every time I see him on social media, he's telling you how to do some shit as an independent artist. I'm like, that's sick. I like the free game.
I do appreciate the free game. I like the work ethic so much. If you're gonna listen to his music, I'd go back to like anything before 2020. He gets a lot of hate for saying like fuck certain artists or certain like different spots in rap where there's like a lot of drug use and stuff. And at times he can be like overbearing and shit. I do like his overall message though. I think he's really inspiring and like dropping singles like a week after week after week after week. That'll get you somewhere. Obviously, he's out here touring the world and stuff, doing shows in like Egypt and Morocco and all over the place. Man.
How did you get into like the camera work? Because I know you were really dope fucking music video filmer as well, bruh. Like First, I literally wrote notes, so I remembered which ones it was. First of all, the how many more signs do you want with Logan was crazy. The like coloring work that was done on that shit is so fucking different. It stands out. It's so crazy. Genghis is a classic. The Lalo Holmes one. Bird's Eye View is literally one of my favorite videos I've ever seen come out of this city. Shout out Wody and Chris Soap. Bro, I got a homie named Ember. Shout out to the homegirl Ember. She in California. And I showed her that video and we was talking about that shit about just like how creative the shots are. Everything is so like everything just looks so unique. Every shot just has everything is perfectly lined up. The coloring is perfect. That shit was so unique. I love that. And I actually just said on a podcast that I did, the very last one with Alexandra, one thing that I think is kind of missing from the Wichita music video scene is that creativity. I think there's a lot of like, and this is me speaking, I think there's a lot of like cut and paste videos going on in the city, and I have a lot of them. But there's a lot of shit going on where I watch these videos and I'm like, they all look the same in the city. Everybody's got these fucking videos where our arms are flying off and shit's going so crazy with the effects. But after a while, it just gets boring because everything kind of blends together. Whereas there's filmers like yourself or like Owen Mills here in town. Shout out to Owen Mills. Every video you guys drop is just like so creative and so different. I can tell you really put your focus on to like, how can I make a dope visual that represents this song and isn't just like a cut and paste visual for, you know? Yeah. I love how creative your videos are. So what started that? And are you like self-taught? How did all that happen?
Well, first of all, I appreciate all those compliments. I'd be even harder on myself with camera work than I am with like music, so very much appreciate it. I started when I was like 18 or so. But even before that, always been into camera work and like filmmaking. I used to get the DVDs from my grandma's house and go watch the bonus features of any particular movie. Sometimes even before I watched the actual movie, or I had already seen it, so I watched the bonus features. And I love learning about the behind the scenes stuff and why they make certain decisions with the cuts and deleting certain parts, deleted scenes, all that. But my first love with camera work is like filmmaking, and I got into like doing music videos through a film homie. Shout out Jack Clayton, homie for life. And we were shooting for a dude named Israel and a couple other friends around the same time and doing music videos, and I was helping be the DP, the director of photography, like doing the actual moving the camera around while he was directing everything. And ever since then, like I've had a camera and I've like self-taught myself. It's been different. Like I do music videos, but in the past I've been doing like short films.
Yeah.
Like I've done like narrative short films. I've also just put like sick music with like shots of me and my friends at like a nature place or just out on the town. Like edits of shows in town of different people, and I still want to expand like what I'm doing. I would say I found like a lot of people in Wichita through different people in community that want music videos, and I've been able to provide that with like experience I've had from my homies like Jack and Colin and a few other people. Like I've been around a lot of camera people that have like kind of dispersed or have done their own thing in different ways or moved out of town, and I kind of switched to doing music, and then I saw an opportunity like I can help people with music videos because I see like what people are doing, and I have a nice camera, so I should help out how I can. And I really just try and, like you were saying, take the song and what the artist wants and just focus on that. Like, what does the artist want? How do they want it to look? And I'll ask them, even if they don't know, like, do you want this in black and white? Do you want color to be like desaturated? Like, do you want it to be kind of shaky, or do you want everything precise and clean? So I really just try and take what the person wants into account, because if you do that, it'll automatically separate from what everybody else is doing. If it's like you're saying, like cookie cutter type type method, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm self-taught, YouTube University, and just lots of experience from helping other people, and just that like passion for filmmaking. Like that's always in the back of my mind if I'm doing like a music video or at a show taking photos or getting edits or whatever. It's really that like camera work in the back of my head, like clean shot, stay with the subject, like rule of thirds, composition. Where's the lighting coming from? Where's the lighting about to be? Because there's like different venues and stuff where the light's flashing in different ways, and it's really it's like a big ball of like energy, like like camera energy. Then you can just like go back in and just take that and like, oh, this is that part. Let me take that from it. I don't know. Does that make sense?
For
It
sure.
just feels like an orb that's just been growing my whole life, and I just like take pieces from it and like return to the source to get knowledge. But I'm always trying to learn and improve at what I'm doing. And I see people out here with like super nice, like you have a nice camera, nice ass camera, nice Sony, and I just want to upgrade. Like that's what I'm looking to do, like upgrade and like get better equipment to make better stuff for people. So yeah, man. Been doing camera work for 9 years, and I'll probably keep doing it for the rest of my life, God willing.
Hell yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, you've produced some of my favorite videos in town, so I hope you keep going, man, for sure.
Oh wait, you said which ones were your favorite again?
So the ones that stood out like in my head, Genghis is a classic, and I love the fucking song too. That black and white video fits so perfect. How Many More Signs Do You Want by Logan? Insane, top notch video. And actually, I was gonna ask about your video, the creeping video.
Oh yeah.
That shit went crazy too. So I want to know what the inspiration for that one was too. Yeah.
So Creepin' is probably my favorite song on the album, simply because it's just 2 minutes of me rapping, and I think it's my best fucking verse on that shit. Like there's so many different references and cadences, but I wanted the video to be very simple, and like you can see it's just me in some shorts and a hoodie. I got a speaker, like I'm just out there with my camera. Like I wanted to turn the attention from the flashiness of what a video could be to just kind of paying attention to the song itself, and like dropping lyrics in there. It's really hard to shoot your own video, like when you're out here. So I really appreciate Logan's help and Liz's help. But with those other ones, like Genghis especially, I remember I was consciously trying to shoot it differently because I had done a lot of like person raps right at the camera. Person's in whatever spot and they're rapping at the camera, and I just wanted to toss that idea out and be like, we're not doing as much as that, so I'm gonna get more B-roll and kind of plug that into different spots and just kind of create more of like a flow and a groove with the song, because I think that video kind of draws you into the video, and then the song draws you in, and it like goes back and forth, like you're on both sides of it. And I think it's like that with like the How Many Signs video. Like Logan at times is rapping to the camera, but there's more like shakiness and instability about where he's at and what's going on, and that fits in with the song too. So yeah, I just try and tap into like the kind of vibe that person is trying to bring out of their music, and just make it. Here's the visual for it. This is what you sound like. And a tip or a word of advice, I would encourage you to move on from like rapping directly at the camera and make it more thematic, more cinematic. Just get weird with your music, or get weird with your video for your music. Because I know if you're going to, there's like times when people want to take their music and their video really seriously, and you should also be playful with your stuff. Like allow the people you're working with that are shooting your video to do different shots that look weird, or maybe they're out of focus, or because sometimes in the editing room stuff just comes together nice, and like a certain shaky part will break up this part where it's just like very steady. It adds more of a groove to your song, like it elevates your song however you're doing it.
Yeah. Nah, that's real for sure. I'll say so like if you gonna listen to my word on anything, My two favorite music videos that have ever come out of this city, which is crazy because there's thousands of fucking music videos that come out of this city. Come on. There's so many filmers here, so many artists. The two videos that stand out in my mind that I show people as like these are the best pieces of like cinematography for a fucking song I have seen are All in My Head by Frank Sativa, which is shot by Owen Mills, and Bird's Eye View, which is Wody and Chris Soap shot by yourself. That is one of my favorite videos.
I'll have to check out that Owen Mills video.
It's so crazy, man. Frank Sativa, yeah, it is. It's. I will send it to you. It is such a crazy video. But what you were just saying about like sometimes not even just like rapping to the camera. Sometimes it's just the unique like random shots that the artist might not think about that stand out. Because when I think about that Bird's Eye View video, like one of the shots that's in my head that's so dope. First off, it opens up with like this time lapse of like it's like in Paris. That shit is sick. And then there's this one shot of Wody and Chris Soap. I don't remember where it is in the video, but the shot stands out in my head, and it's not even of them rapping. Wody is like sitting on a fucking thing eating ice cream, and it's like a side profile shot. Yeah. For some reason, bro, it's the most random shot where like if you came to me as a rapper and you're like, let me get this shot of you sitting eating ice cream, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. But that shot went so crazy. Sometimes it's those little details that really set things off.
I thought you were about to say the one where they're like across the street in front of like the barbecue spot.
Crazy too.
Like
the coloring, everything. Oh,
yeah, it's some shots just work for your video, and like that video, that song is very like chill and like driving through the city on a sunny day, the type of thing. And I feel like that was just a way to like showcase Wody as like just out here chilling, eating ice cream, like well, maybe your favorite rapper is just eating ice cream in the park or like in the middle of Old Town, who knows? But being aware of like who the artists you're working with, like what they're doing and like their personality, trying to get those like behind the scenes moments of them just being human, because that can elevate the work you're making instead of just that low angle looking up, just rapping in the camera. Like sometimes just eating ice cream with your homie, and that's hip hop.
Yeah. It really, it does really just like show the personality of the artist too. Cause you say that Wody is maybe the most like personable rapper I've ever met. I fuck with Wody. Wody is such a dope artist, and he's such a humble dude. You can invite Wody to pull up to some shit. Hey bro, pull up to this show. He gonna pull up on a bicycle. My guy is so grounded. Like I fuck with his mindset, bruh. Shout out to Wody, man. He's so dope.
I say like I appreciate the compliment on that video, because I really didn't think you were gonna pick Bird's Eye View, or even like really like that one wouldn't stand out to me as one that I would like. No disrespect to that video or Chris or Wody, but I wouldn't. It's hard to like pick a video and just like show somebody, because different things will stand out. Like him in the park like eating ice cream like stood out to you, or like across the street by the barbecue spot. So yeah, it's just good to hear that people like look for some will just stand out, and it's just like a 3-second shot. And that definitely makes me feel like I need to be more aware of what people are doing, like when we're shooting, or like suggest different things and just make it more natural. And because sometimes we don't have like the production value to make a crazy video, but you can be personable and human with people and just go to different spots and chop it up about life and just hear what they're doing with their day, what they're doing with their week. And like, you know, sometimes a simple idea will come out of that and it'll mean the world to somebody else. Definitely. I'll give on that Bird's Eye View one, those like clips at the beginning. That's just stock footage. So
for sure. I figured it was, but it looks perfect. It's perfect.
Utilize that stock footage. And Goose, I'm still upset at you that we couldn't get you in the video, bro. But it's whatever. You're a new father now, so congratulations.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. That video stands out to me for sure. That one is one of my favorites ever in the city. And it's like I used to even be hung up on it myself until I started kind of discovering videos like that one and like the Frank Sativa one that I saw. But I used to even be one of those artists that was kind of hung up on like effects, where like there's so much like music videos going on in the city right now that are just so overdone with VFX that everybody got to thinking that every fucking music video has to look like the Avengers. Shit don't gotta be so crazy. Like, there doesn't have to be so much shit going on in the background. When I saw y'all's videos, and they stood out to me, and I was like, legitimately, like, these are some of the best music videos I have ever seen, and I don't think there is any like effects. Like, there's not any crazy things where like there's like yeah, there's like maybe color correction and like some transitions and shit, but it's not like these crazy, videos where there's like explosions and guns are coming out, arms are flying off. I'm like, yeah, it's not all that type of shit. It's really more just like the artistic and the creativity of like the shot placements and the coloring and shit like that. That really like inspired me on the camera shit for real, even with just like the reels I shoot for my songs. Like, I specifically now, like, I just went to where they shoot where they do the Somewhere Fest downtown, like over by the Wave. So they still have like a bunch of like storage containers and shit up down there. And I was like, that shit kind of looks sick. So I pulled up down there by all the graffiti and the storage containers, and I specifically sat there and I was like putting my camera on, like, where can I stand where the sunlight will hit me in this way, and where can I never would have thought about that shit until I started seeing videos like that for real. So that really kind of put me on. Hell yeah.
I think to add to your point about like using VFX, I think it's very useful it just depends like what type of music you're trying to make, and like, but I also think, and people might not like to hear this, but I think people just don't fuck with Wichita, and they want to make it seem like they're somewhere else, like they're not in Wichita.
For sure.
And if that's like, you're in Wichita, you should rep it. You should rep where you're from, and that's what I try and achieve with all these videos. Like, I'll go shoot by the storage containers. I'll go shoot by the keeper. If like, it won't be my first thought, but if you want it there, we're going to make it look cool. We're going to make it look like we're repping Wichita. This is where we're from, and we're proud of it. But I do get that feeling when I see a lot of VFX. Like, I think they're trying to take attention away from where they're at and place it on the effects, or like those group of people that are right there. And it's not really about where you're from, when in reality, that's most of the time what you're rapping about is where you're from and what you've gone through, what you're doing, the people around you, where they're from. Like, you're all community. You're the face of Wichita right there. So I think people just need to show more love to the city in that way. Like, I know people don't really fuck with Wichita in certain ways, and maybe been here all their life, like I have, but there's always ways to do it. And like, there's stuff around here, and like with the right creative minds, you can make even Kirbys look like a fucking LIV in Miami. You can make Kirbys look crazy. You just gotta trust your own music, trust your craft, trust the process, and love what you do.
Yeah, that's real for sure. Man, I don't think I have too much more to ask. So before we start kind of wrapping things up, do you have anything in the works right now? Is there any new music on the way? Any new videos? Anything that you're focused on right now?
I am
still pretty fresh on the release. So.
Go listen to Hang the Thieves and tell me which video you want. I already did Creepin', so go check out Creepin'. As far as going forward, I have a show tomorrow with some homies. Logan.jbg, Makuku, Joaquin Fox, Via, Casket Girl, DJ Terezi. So we're going to be here at Kirbys doing our thing. And I do have a plan to do a music video here soon. I won't go too deep into it, but it's with somebody I just mentioned earlier in the podcast when we were talking about features. And as far as like music goes, I am working on a group project, and I think it is some of the weirdest stuff I've written, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like people, it's either you turn it off or you turn it up. It's one of those. For sure. And I think I'm just looking forward to that. I'm not going to drop like any name or anything, but me and my homies are always making stuff, always got the creative top spinning on the table. And I'm just excited for the future, and I'm excited to collaborate with people. So if you'd like to work on music, do a music video, work on like a short film, I'd love to get back into filmmaking. That's really what I'm on. I'm just trying to collaborate and improve, And I appreciate you having me on here, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I fuck with that answer. I like the fact that you said it's weird. We need more weird in Wichita. Experiment with your shit. Be weird. I like that shit. I'm doing some weird shit myself.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Hell yeah, man.
We can get on some weird shit together.
For sure. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man, so I like to close out every podcast pretty much the same way. anybody who's from the city or spent a lot of time here, I like to end it off with just some local shout outs. So just give some shout outs. It could be anything from music, venues, clothing, food, anything at all. Just give some local love. You feel me?
Okay. I would like to shout out Wichita Promo, first of all, for putting on so many people to other people, and then everywhere people getting put on. Shout out Frost.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
The Belmont, that whole block, I love them. Shout out Front Steps and what Miguel is doing. I love to see that. Shout out the people of Wichita and the grind that we're all on, whether you're working full-time job, full-time artists. Like, I love the people in the city, even if I don't necessarily love the city sometimes, or like the politics and all this shit around the city. I love the people, and big shout out to them. As far like, I don't know that many like clothing brands. I do go to 2 a.m. Fits a lot. Is that where you got that?
Nah.
Oh,
It's local though, too.
Oh yeah, I love 2 a.m. Fits. I love all the vintage stuff they have there. Man, I don't go out that much.
Yeah,
I don't go out that much. Shout out parents.
Yeah.
Shout out loved ones, siblings. Shout out my brother Makuku.
Yeah.
He would be a good guest. I'm not trying to just shoehorn him in here, but yeah, Makuku's dope. And yeah, I love you all, and thanks for having me, dude.
Hell yeah, for sure. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Shout out to the homies over at ChristVision for hooking me up with this hoodie. Local, got to support the local brands. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for watching. That was another episode.
Yeah.